Okay, this is the teacher's notes video for the third video in the series on that prerequisite course. And we cover some very general knowledge on the material we use, both solid wood and sheet goods. Now, I will say this is an area that you can really dive deep and break it out into a couple different lectures. And what really will grab students' attention is props. Bring in boards that have falls to them, twist, kank, cupping, and like that stuff, even just sections of it. And as you're going through the lecture, draw out from them of why that wood moved a certain way. Even better, bring in thin slices of wood, maybe one that is cut quarter sawn, one that's rift sawn, one that's flat sawn, and then a spray bottle filled with either denatured alcohol, which I prefer because it evaporates better, or water. Analyze it. Hey, this board is flat. And then when you spritz it down with water, how does it react? If you use a denatured alcohol, you could go on with your lecture and come back to this prop because the alcohol will both absorb into the cells and then evaporate out within 5 or 10 minutes of a lecture, and you can see wood kind of move, either shrink or grow or cup or twist or that kind of stuff. It makes a great prop that you can actually pass around so that the kids can see the difference. Plus, there are a lot of different ways you can bring other subject matters like biology into this class. Talk about the cell structures. Dive deep into the differences between medulla rays and the cells that grow up and down. Talk about the differences between a tree cell and a human cell. They always learn in their books about the cells, nucleus, the exterior, as a bubble because that's the human cell. That's animal cells. But tree cells, they're more like straws, and they're big enough that you could actually see some of them with the naked eye if you know what you're looking for. So there's a lot you can explore there with props and stuff like that that allow you to feed off from the students, and a lot of angles, tangents, where you can bring in different subject matters, even history and science and chemicals and stuff like that. Well, all you could bring into this lecture if you wanted to, or break it up into different multiple classes over the course of a week, 15-20 minute sections. I had to present this as a kind of a long lecture, but in real life this is one area where your enthusiasm and your knowledge from ancillary areas can really come in. Now, I do have a couple videos if you want to get a little bit more in this lecture style series. In my router table series, I broke out one video on dimensioning, and I talked about how I get different parts of the build I was doing from different sections of boards that not only came from different parts of a tree, but I kind of broke out different parts within the board itself. I also have another video that talks about how craftsmen use all parts of a tree, from the roots all the way to the little branch buds in the canopy. I called it tree butchery, kind of like you butcher up a pig for different parts. And we explained how people used it throughout history in that. And that might be something you could bring in, a branch clipping or something like that, and actually study how the grains are growing, how you can twist it, it's flexible or it's strong, all that kind of stuff as a prop. But if you're looking for a little bit more information on tree anatomy from me, those two videos would probably be pretty good. Well, I really do hope that you are able to bring in a lot more information from different areas of your students' education, both past and what they might be doing in the future, so that rings a bell with them in this particular lecture. And I would highly suggest you break it up into little 15-20 minute sections. So have fun with your students and enjoy learning. Oh, and in the vocabulary, I'll put some terms on some default with boards related to movement. That might be a good assignment to bring in, that they can go out and find those answers themselves.